Let's talk about single parents navigating the world of online dating. Many now turning to their kids for advice on how to tackle it head on.
Makes sense, but for more, we're joined by psychotherapist Melissa Ferrari live in studio. Melissa, good to see you.
Hello.
So, what are the aspects of online dating that older Aussies are really trying to grapple with here?
Well, there's a lot of things with dating in general where being older, people are often stayed in their ways. And so when you're dating, it's hard to get that connection because quite often it's like I want what I want and I'm not really ready to kind of merge our lives too much. So that's something that I observe. Another thing is a little bit with scammers, unfortunately, for people that are older that might not be so tech savvy, do get caught a little bit more in terms of scams. And there are plenty of scams out there. So that's another downside as well.
But including your kids in your love life could be tricky. So are there any boundaries that people need to put in place?
Well, I'm going to assume you're talking about older kids, right?
Yes,
rather than
older.
young kids, because I think putting young kids on your dating wouldn't be a good
Let's say
idea.
teens and above.
Yeah.
Teens and above, older teens and above. You know, I think it really can actually have its advantages because they actually do know a lot of people, right? And they're dating people who've got a single parents that might be single as well. So I think it can be very helpful in that way. But you know, they need to appreciate your kids that you've probably got a different dating style to what their style would be like, that you might be a little bit more careful or, you know, and so they need to consider that. I think the good boundaries need to be set around, you know, it is my love life, but hey, do you know anyone that's single? You know, like such and such's dad looked all right. Is he single or not? You know,
and technology, right?
They're
I feel
great.
like this is where they can help. It's like, how do I put my profile picture up?
Exactly.
Do I need to have a fish and a truck in my backyard?
Exactly. And they'll give you great advice on that kind of
But
stuff.
what if you don't have, or if your kids are too young or you don't have kids? Who do you turn to then if you're like thinking about getting back into the dating scene?
I think always having a good therapist, a really good therapist that understands the dating world, it is not easy out there. It is very, very difficult. And I think being able to work through any insecurities that you have and be prepared that there will be rejection, because it does happen and it can be very soul destroying. So I think that's a good idea. But I also think starting to notice who's around, you know, if the barista's making your coffee and they give you a wink and you ignore it and here's a bit of all right, that's something that you need to think about, you know. Why am I not taking notice of what happens right in front of my eyes that someone might be attracted to me?
Oh, this version of this segment is sponsored by the Coffee Club. You're going to get your coffee and a good-looking barista with a wink. The Coffee Club is the one for you.
And a wink.
Did not know you were sponsored. I didn't know we had to declare that. Melissa, that was fantastic. So really, you could just... You still think we can find love offline?
Absolutely. I mean, people are joining things like meetup.com that actually have activities where you go out dancing, wine tasting,
That's better.
in the flesh. There's another one called Stitch.net, that one is, and that's for people over 50.
Absolutely.
Where, again, you're able to get out there and really meet people, and you can say, this morning I've got nothing to do, is lunch on, and you'll find a place where
Let's
you
go
can
to lunch.
join a
You know
table.
where they
have a
could go
coffee.
to? The Coffee Club.
Thank you, Melissa.